So these four rabbis were having a discussion. What is the most powerful verse in the entire Torah? One rabbi goes and says, I am God your Lord. They all looked at each other and says, that is the most powerful verse in the entire Torah. Another rabbi goes and says, I got one. He says, you shall love a fellow as yourself. I mean, that is the basis of what the entire religion's all about. They all looked at each other and says, great point. And all of a sudden the third rabbi goes and says, you know, there's a verse in Genesis that not too many people know, but it's a powerful verse. And he says, this book, this book is a chronology of man. But instead of using the word chronology, use the word as the DNA. This book, the Torah, is your entire makeup. Study it, and you'll be able to understand who you are. The rabbi is looking and says, that is a very powerful verse. The fourth rabbi goes and says, I have it. So what is it? He says, it says in the book of Numbers that you shall bring an offering every day consistently. And all of a sudden the rabbis look at each other and says, now that, hands down, the greatest verse in the entire Torah. All the rabbis looked at it. The students were saying, how is that the greatest verse? Simple. To know that God is number one. We all agree. To love a fellow, oh yeah. But doing something consistently, not when it feels good. That is the number one thing. That's the one message that we as human beings, we as Jews, have to constantly be knowing that we have to do. It's not just on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. It's not just when someone is poor that we should start thinking about how to help the homeless. It's not just when someone needs our help that we go and make a phone call. But on a continuous basis, we're constantly trying to find how we can have a better connection, how we can be a better human being, and how we can treat our spouses better. And if we take that verse, that continuously we want to go and be the best human being that we could be, then, my dear friends, we'll have the best life that God has offered us.